Hi everyone, I'm Hannah and welcome to another knitting recap video. Welcome or welcome back. This is a channel where I mostly talk about my knitting, but occasionally we talk sewing, spinning, ceramics, whatever I'm feeling at the moment. So yeah, today's gonna be a recap video, mostly knitting content, a little bit of fiber stuff. This is a little bit overdue. I typically film these on a monthly basis, but this is going to be everything I worked on during the month of September and October. As you might be able to tell, I'm in a new space. I moved this fall. I'm in a very much unfinished future fiber arts studio, arts and crafts room space. So yeah, right now I just have like an old shelf back there that's very much getting filled with fiber things and my spinning wheel and some other random stuff. But my last video actually was like dreaming up the design of this room. So if you're curious about that, make sure you check out that video. But yeah, it's been a busy fall. So before we start talking about what I worked on, I'll talk about what I'm wearing today. This is the Cloud Sweater by Petite Knit, made with cloud yarn by Lang Yarns. So little cloud squared moment. And the colorway for the cloud yarn was 8, I believe. And I made this earlier this year. And it's a fun little pop of color. So, okay. I have 2 finished objects, 3 works in progress, and a handful of acquisitions to go over today. So let's jump in. Both of my finished objects I don't have with me anymore, but I'll be able to show you pictures. So the first one is a commission piece I made. There's a working sheep farm that does a lot of like fiber stuff near me that I'm involved with, and the owner reached out to me that she had a friend that was looking to get a sweater made with yarn from her farm, which my dream. I get to use like local yarn and like make someone a sweater with it. So obviously said yes to that. The person who wanted it just wanted a very basic roll neck sweater. So actually the picture he sent me was like the, like the J. Crew sweater, the like roll neck, very popular J. Crew sweater. He was like basically this. So it was basically a raglan shaped sweater with roll neck features. So yeah, and then I got this beautiful 2-ply yarn. So it was like yarn from Windrush Farm, the farm that I am involved with, and it was processed at a local mill. So it was like very locally made yarn. It almost felt like hand spun, like it was didn't feel like commercial yarn by any means, which I prefer. So I was happy to work with. Yeah, it was just this beautiful dark brown and light gray. I believe they're both Corriedale wool. It was just really fun to work with. It basically felt like knitting with hand spun, but like really well made hand spun. And yeah, I would not have like plied those 2 colors together either. So that was really interesting. Like I didn't think I wouldn't have picked those to go together, but I really love the marled look of the finished sweater. And yeah, as far as the actual like sweater pattern construction, I kind of sorta made it up and kind of took parts of different patterns. So I have there's one pattern called, is it called Northwood? Let me double check. Southwood? North or Southwood? Some cardinal direction in the word wood. Oh, it is Southwood. Okay. So it's the Southwood. It's a free pattern, and it is just like a raglan, super basic raglan construction. And then there's options for short rows or no short rows. And so I followed that for like the basic raglan construction of the sweater. And then for the cuffs, the collar, and the hem, I basically actually followed this cloud sweater. So I did a couple rows of ribbing followed by stockinette and then just bound off so it rolls. Very similar to how this sweater is. And then, yeah, I just did a roll neck collar and then the hem to match the sleeves. So it was like a pretty basic sweater, but I am proud that I, you know, kind of made up the pattern a little bit myself and just referenced a few things. Yeah, it was like a bit of a challenge too, making it for someone else. He had given me a sweater that fit him well to like base it off of. So that was kind of interesting because that was like a drop shoulder construction. So kind of like figuring out the measurements between the different styles of sweaters. But overall, it worked out. It actually, I kind of overestimated, and after I blocked it, it was like too long in the body and the sleeves where it looked ridiculous, and I had to shorten them, but that was like a very easy fix. And yeah, I actually just delivered it to the person who got it today, and it fit and all was well. So I'm very happy that it was fun to make, but I was also like relieved that all worked out and he was happy with it and all's good. But yeah, that was a fun piece to make. I was very happy to work with that wool and would love to use some more local wool like that. Okay, I think that's everything on that one. And then, so the other finished object I have for this recap is one I also don't have with me, which was my first time making a shop sample. I didn't know what this was before a few months ago, but basically if you go into a small yarn shop, they usually have sample sweaters or accessories like as like kind of decor, but also so you can see how different yarns work up and see different patterns and stuff. So I got on the list for a local yarn store to me to make something for their shop. And then at least the way this yarn store works is once you deliver the piece, you get store credit. So yeah, depending on the size and complexity of the piece, you get more money of free yarn basically. So I ended up making the Aran gallant sweater by Kadri, and I used Lang Yarn's Avalon yarn for this. So the Avalon yarn, it's a bulky weight, very fluffy, and it is 60% extra fine merino, 40% superwash merino. So basically all merino, washable, and very fluffy. The colorway I made it in was like the bright green. Okay, it's literally just called green. Yeah, it was interesting. So the pattern itself was very straightforward, very easy, very beginner friendly. I don't even think there were short rows. I think it was literally all stockinette with some increases. Raglan shaping with like a mock neck. Yeah, no issues with the pattern whatsoever. It was also just a very quick knit because it was like Aran bulky weight yarn. Big needles, so a great beginner project, and I did really like the shape of the sweater too. But yeah, the yarn, I will say I don't think I'll ever use this yarn again. One, I'm not the biggest fan of superwash, especially for sweaters because of how it can stretch. Two, I found the yarn to be like it would catch in my needles a lot with all the fluff of it. I would catch a little fuzz and my needle would get stuck in it knitting. So I felt like I couldn't knit at my normal speed. I had to be a little bit more slowed down just to not get my needles caught in the fiber. I don't know if maybe I was using bamboo needles, and maybe if you knit this with a different material of needle, like metal, maybe that would have been better. But yeah, and then it was also quite expensive. So I think I ended up using basically exactly 6 balls of it for a size. They had me make a size medium, and I think they retail for 21, 22, 23 US dollar for the yarn. So that's like $130 plus sweater. And I guess it's not that bad. I was thinking it was more than that. I mean, it's still expensive. I thought it was like 150, 200 plus, but I guess it depends on the size you make and whatever. Anyways, I thought the yarn was kind of expensive for what it was to be annoying to work with and probably will stretch out over time. So that's probably why I wouldn't use it. But if you do like fluffy superwash, then that is a great one to use. But yeah, this one I finished in 2 weeks. It was very simple, easy. Yeah, so I do like the pattern. Would maybe make myself one in the future, just with a different yarn. Okay, so that was all I finished. yeah, I kind of like, I had these two projects with deadlines for obviously other people or yarn shops or whatever, which I think in the future, hold me to this, I'm going to try to only ever have one project like that at a time. I think, yeah, having those two projects with deadlines, and then I'm also have a work in progress that's a gift knit. I think it's just like too much not for myself knitting. I don't mind doing the occasional test knit, sample knit, commission piece, whatever, but just like still being able to balance that with making stuff for myself and not feeling too much pressure of deadlines or feeling like I'm running out of time or rushed to make something. So yeah, it's a fine balance, but that ended up being a little bit, especially with like moving and other life things going on recently, it was just like a little much, but we made it through. I'm feeling relieved to have them done. But yeah, let's jump into whips. The first one is I'm very excited about this project, and it's close to done-ish, and yeah, I don't know, I'll just show it to you. I'm stalling. This is, where's the front? This is the front. My Lakes pullover by Ozetta, the just standard crew neck version, and I'm using Briggs & Little Heritage. Yes, I'm using Briggs & Little Heritage in the color Royal Blue. And yeah, I think in my last recap video, which would have been for the end of July, I was working on the collar. So I finished the collar and I did one sleeve. Ta-da! And so now I just need to do one more sleeve. I think the body is basically done, but I wanted to wait to see if I wanted to do more body length before doing the ribbing once I had the sleeves and everything. But anyways, I'm very happy about this sweater. It is very much turning out like the fit I wanted. So this is a little bit off gauge. I'm making a size small, but it's going to measure to be somewhere between a medium and a large. So it's going to have even a little more ease than Ozetta recommends. But I really wanted this to fit like quite oversized. For the collar, I ended up doing a crochet edge pickup. So I basically went around and like picked up all the stitches with a crochet hook and then started the collar as normal. I found this through another Ravelry page of someone who made this sweater, had done this. So I figured I'd try it out, and it kind of just gives like that little like outline to the collar, this kind of just line that you see going all the way around. Just a small detail, and I think it gives more like structural integrity to the collar because it has like more of an anchor to hold on to. And then the sleeve I shortened a little bit, which I just like usually shorten sleeves in the length of sweaters because I'm short, but yeah, I shortened it. I was supposed to do 12 decreases, and I believe this is 10. And then I did one row of like rapid decreases. So the last row before I started the ribbing, I did one every 6 stitches, something like that. I did knit 2 together, so I decreased quite a bit. So yeah, the cuffs, you can kind of see, get a little, not quite like balloon vibes, but I just wanted the cuffs to be a little bit tighter since it is such a like loose fitting sweater. So yeah, I just finished this, last night, and then I have one more sleeve to go. I'll probably do, once I have both sleeves, I'll determine the body length. I might go a little bit longer and then start the ribbing, or I might just start the ribbing. We'll see. But yes, I'm just loving this. I love the fit. I tried it on the other night after working on it for a bit, and it was like, I knew it looked good, but then I was like, wait, this is even better than I thought. I'll make sure to put in some like B-roll footage wearing it, but really loving this wool too. Yeah, this is California. This is Canadian wool, and it is really affordable for like nice wool. I think I got a sweater quantity for like around $55 US. So that is wonderful. And yeah, the vibrant blue is just my favorite, and I'm really looking forward to having this. I'm going on a trip soon, and I am like making a fake another deadline for myself by saying I want to finish it before the trip. So we'll see. I would love to be able to take it with me, but we'll see. Okay, I think that's everything for this one. Let me grab my other two whips. We'll talk about this one first. So this is the piece I was talking about. That's a gift knit. So this is for one of my best friend's birthdays. I told her I'd make her whatever she wanted, and she picked the Zipper Sweater by Zipper Sweater Light. Yeah, Zipper Sweater Light by Petite Knit. And this is like an oversized raglan shaping with like a quarter zip feature and this like high neck collar to it. And I'm making it in Cascade Merino DK in the color 28 Harbor. I'll show you a little bit. It's like a nice turquoisey blue color. She also picked this out, and I thought this would be a good woolly yarn that wouldn't be too like irritating or itchy for someone not used to wool. So I'm off gauge again. I'm usually off gauge. I'm a very loose knitter. So I sized down my May needles, and I'm making an extra small, and it's going to measure to be around a large. Forever off gauge, but yeah, it's going well. So yeah, I'll show it to you. So you can see, yeah, that very deep V look neck. Well, it's not really a V neck, but looks like a V neck right now will be where I put in a zipper. And I have a good amount of the body done. So yeah, I started with this collar, which the collar, oh my gosh, this was a beast because it's 1x1 rib, which I'm already like, not my favorite. And it was on such tiny needles, but it made such a nice fabric. Like it almost doesn't even look rib, but then if you stretch it, you can see it is rib. But yeah, it was like just such tight stitches on such tiny needles for this yarn size that it was like hand cramp terribleness. and it's double folded over, so you have to make it like twice as long. So yeah, as you can see, this is like a double fold thing. I think it makes for a very good, stiff, nice looking collar, but it was just like starting off with that. I feel like it took me like half the time working on this was a collar, and then once I got down to here, it just like flew by. So, but yeah, then it was just some like back and forth knitting flat with raglan shaping until you got to where you connect, and then now it's just easy in the round stuff. So yeah, I'm just finishing the body and stockinette, do some ribbing, do the arms, and then I've never installed a zipper before. So that'll be interesting. I do have it, and like it looks like the right size, and it's what the pattern calls for. So fingers crossed it's easy. I think you basically like this, you kind of have like a little gap here to sew it down into here, and then I don't know. I guess I'll probably hand sew. I do have a sewing machine, but that seems like risky. So anyways, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, her birthday is early November. And I've just told her it's gonna be late, but it's coming. I'm having fun with this, and I'm enjoying the yarn too. I have never tried this yarn before, but I think it would be a good one for gift knitting or for knitting for people who might be more wool sensitive. It seems like it feels like wool, but it doesn't feel itchy, versus like this definitely feels like some rustic kind of wool. So yeah, I hopefully will finish this during the month of November though, and be able to gift it. And yeah, I'm really excited to try out the zipper pattern though, and I am really liking it. I feel like this is something I might make for myself one day as well. Okay, last work in progress is my Olga, extra stripey Olga. So here she is. This is kind of more like a spring summer knit, but I did work on it a bit in September. So here is my Olga sweater so far. So this is another petite knit pattern, drop shoulder, striped pattern, but I have modified it to do twice as many stripes. So basically her stripes are four rows and I'm doing 2 row stripes. So it's extra stripey. And yeah, I'm also using cotton yarn for this. So this is Barocco Modern cotton. And I'm using this like periwinkle blue and a white stripe. And yeah, I've connected in the round on the body and started one sleeve, but I haven't worked on this in a bit. Obviously still need to do the collar, both sleeves, body. There's still a lot to do here, but yeah, I haven't really been working on this because it feels like not the right season to be working on this, but yeah, I think I still like it. My camera cut me off while I was talking about my Olga sweater, but I think basically, in case it got cut off, what I was saying is I think it might become a hibernated sweater. It feels very spring, summer, and there's like so much woolly, fun, winter, thick, cozy things I want to make that I might just hold off on the cotton sweater for now. But yeah, okay, I think that's all on that. Acquisitions. So the first one was a birthday present to myself. So my birthday was like middle of September. I was like stressed in the middle of moving, traveling, having a lot going on, and was like not in the mood to do anything, but I was like, let me buy myself some yarn. I feel like I deserve it. And yeah, I ended up getting yarn to make the Levitate wrap by My Favorite Things. I have talked about this pattern many times, so you've probably heard me yap about it before, but it just looks so cozy and just a nice little comfy thing to like wear around the house. And I ended up just buying the same colors that they use in the sample photo, which I would not put these yarns together, or at least these colors together. This is Isager Soft and Isager Trio 1. So that Isager Soft is a alpaca organic cotton 56-44% blend, and then the Trio is 50% linen, 30% cotton, 20% lyocell. So this is like a lot more of a summery kind of yarn, I guess, and this is a lot more fluffy. And yeah, I don't think I would ever like think to pair these or like these fibers or these colors, but this is what they used in the sample and I love the sample, so I'm interested to swatch it up and see. But yeah, it is definitely interesting. Yeah, I forgot to say on these, the colors. This is color linen and this is E2S. So yeah, linen and E2S. This feels more like a tan neutral, and this is more gray and cool tone. I don't know, we'll see. But this is like what everybody uses to make this. So yeah, I like debated doing a different color, but I just love the sample so much. I knew I wanted it like in a neutral color, and that just seemed like the right thing to do. So yeah, that's something I hope to cast on soon, maybe shortly after I finish a couple of these whips. While I was at the yarn store, like picking up my stuff to make a sample and like dropping off my sample and stuff, I was like, I'm in a yarn store, gotta browse. So I did end up buying a couple things while I was there. I bought another ball of Let Lopi. This is like a nice mid-green color. It is color 1406. And I plan to make a pair of felted slippers with these. So I have 2 other, like a teal, dark like tealish greenish color, and then like a mid blue, and I'm hoping to make the sailor I'm hoping to make the sailor slippers by Annie Sews, which is a new felted slipper pattern. They're like these striped slippers, and I think she uses 3 colors in most of them, so I figured I'd get 1 more color to use for those. And then I ended up buying, I've heard this brand name many times and I don't know how to pronounce it. It sounds like I'm feel like I'm cursing. Bishes and bushes. Anyways, it is their Les Petites Lambs wool. It is, yeah, it is 100% wool, a woolen spun fingering weight yarn. And I got these two colors, which I thought looked nice together. This is called Very Light Blue, and this is called Medium Gray Brown. And I have concepts of a plan for this. I think I want to do some sort of stripy hat or bandana. Some sort of thin striped winter accessory. I think thin striped winter accessory. Yeah, I was thinking about, I'll just put up a couple pictures of what I'm thinking. I don't have like a specific pattern or anything in mind, but I just wanted more winter accessories, something that I was thinking about traveling with this project too, like something that'd be easy on the go. Yeah, I'm just in need of like a smaller project. I've only been working on like sweaters recently, so I need a quicker on the go thing. So that was my idea there. Ooh. I feel like I'm holding like cotton candy. But this is a whole bunch of wool, some fiber. This is, so that same farm that I was talking about that I made yarn, the same farm that I was talking about earlier that I made the commission sweater from. I was there yesterday actually for a spinning lab. They do like workshop events where you can just go and spin, and they're actually helping me figure out how to use my new wheel because I was like struggling a bit with it. Anyways, while I was there, I was like, got any fiber? Got anything to spin? And they had just gotten in this kind of mystery wool. She was pretty certain it's Corriedale, but it looks a little different than like her usual wool. Anyways, I just wanted to get back into spinning a little bit more, and I don't have a ton of fiber to spin. Like I don't really have a stash of it, so I figured it would be good. I do love spinning white, which is like kind of boring, but it just like looks like a fluffy cloud. So I wanted to get this, and yeah, one idea I had was doing this a 2-ply with some like super dark brown fiber and making a very like high contrast marled yarn. Could be interesting. So I might try to swatch that up. I may just make like a white fluffy something. Excited to do this. I think I want to spin this on my wheel. I have an e-spinner. I started spinning on an e-spinner, and I have a project going there too, but I'm like wanting to keep up the momentum with my new wheel, so I'm hoping to start another spinning project on that. So maybe I'll start this here. But yeah, it is like a little greasier. It has like more oil in it, but then I was like, honestly, that might be good for the winter because the lanolin from wool is like great for moisturizing your hands. So I was like, she was like, it's a little more like greasy than usual, and I was like, honestly, that's not like the worst thing. So anyways, that's my mystery fiber, but excited about this. Oh, I got fluff on my hands. I think that's it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want to keep up with me more in real time, I'm over on Instagram at Hannah Watts Studio. Make sure you're subscribed here if you want to see more videos like this, and also more videos of me like making this a proper arts and crafts room eventually. And yeah, just lots of fun stuff to come. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.